Why not?
I guess I need to talk about this. So Amber Rose and Nick Cannon hopped into a truck together, drove around, and talked about politics. I can't think of two less qualified people to be driving around talking about politics for the rest of the world to hear than Amber Rose and Nick Cannon. The video you're about to see is probably the one you've been seeing for a while. It's been floating around everywhere. It's where Nick Cannon is telling Amber Rose, oh yeah, I agree with you 100% because the Democratic Party is the party of the KKK and white supremacists, and the Republican Party freed the slaves. I'm going to come back and try to give you a different perspective on this and how easy it is to debunk this whole idea that a lot of MAGAs and black MAGAs are pushing, that the Republican Party is pro-black and the Democratic Party is anti-black.
Part of the Republican Party?
That's right. Former Democrat, former liberal.
Yeah.
I was a liberal Democrat my whole life.
Is that because the bag has got so intense and so heavy that
No.
you got a whole nother, you up there with the elite now? Or?
Not even close. Not even close.
It's not that the bag has gotten so big that now she's a part of the elites. It's that the elites in the MAGA movement are helping grow her bag by paying her to say exactly what she's saying. There have been several black MAGAs who found themselves on the other side of the criticism from their own people who have all but admitted that they know other black MAGAs are being paid to criticize them because they at one time were paid to criticize others. So it's barely even a secret that they're either being paid to criticize or they realize their views increase the more they regurgitate the racist right talking points.
Democrats don't care about black people.
Okay,
And they don't care
Kanye.
about people. They don't care about people of color. And the Republicans do, and that's the misconception.
And you know what? I agree with you 100%.
Thank you,
People
Nick.
don't know that the Democrats is the party of the KKK.
Yep.
People don't know that the Republicans are the party that freed the slaves.
Yep.
So first, let's put some historical context behind these statements because obviously Nick Cannon learned something but didn't continue the education. And if you're not following Gary Chambers, you should be because there's not a lot of people doing it like him.
There's been a lot of commentary about Nick Cannon and Amber Rose talking about Republicans freed the slaves and Democrats were the Klan. Not a lot of conversation about this guy, though. Not a lot of conversation about Barry Goldwater, who was the Republican nominee for president in 1964 against LBJ, who passed the Civil Rights Act. He was the senator from Arizona. He voted against passing the Civil Rights Act. He said extremism in the defense of liberty is no vice. Moderation in the pursuit of justice is no virtue. Barry Goldwater ran for president, and he is the father of the modern conservative movement that we see, not Ronald Reagan. When Barry Goldwater ran for president, he lost drastically, but he won Arizona, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina, the Deep South. These were the states that were most against passing the Civil Rights Act in America. And the senator from Arizona won those states. And as a result, he birthed the modern far-right movement that we see today. As a matter of fact, Ronald Reagan endorsed him in 1964 when he ran for president because Ronald Reagan was at the start of his political career. Reagan gave a speech in support of Goldwater in 1964, and Reagan's political career was gaining momentum. 2 decades later, he would shake up the political establishment by pursuing Goldwater-like hawkish policies. So if you're not talking about the 1964 election as well, where these 5 states in the Deep South, which we know fought the hardest against the Civil Rights Act passing, as well as this West Coast state, Arizona, then you haven't done enough homework and don't know enough about politics in our history. These things are quite easy to find too, how Barry Goldwater brought the far right center stage in the 1964 presidential race. We listen to too many of our entertainers and athletes like they are our advocates and our scholars. And if you're not willing to sit down with the advocates and the scholars, you should, and leave it to those who are really trying to help black folks advance in this system called America. And if you don't know the whole story, why are you the one telling the story? As always, do good, seek justice, keep pushing.
That part. And there's even more to it. Because what I realize Amber Rose and Nick Cannon don't have the brain capacity to do is look a little deeper. Ask yourself this question. Easy question. If the Republican Party were actually pro-black and the Democrat Party was actually anti-black, Why are so many black people supporting the Democrat Party? We're not dumb. We're not ignorant. We're not blind. We see what's going on. But if you ask yourself that question, it might give you the wherewithal to dig a little deeper. Then you might come across the ideology switch and LBJ and all those things Gary Chambers was talking about. But even if you didn't do that, you might just look at what's going on right now. If you go to a Republican rally, you will see that they are flying the flag, the Confederate flag of the people who wanted to see slavery thriving. Why is that? If they're actually pro-black, why are they flying that flag? Then ask yourself, who do white supremacists, the KKK, you name any type of group like that, who do they support today? Who do they take out full page ads in support of today? Who do they march with? Whose rallies do you see them at? When you come across someone who is a racist person, who do they typically vote with? Those are easy questions to answer. You don't even have to know history at all. All you have to do is look around. Now, I imagine Nick Cannon hasn't been to many of these rallies. Amber Rose has. There were people when she was at the RNC who was saying we shouldn't have her on stage. We shouldn't have this person representing her. They were going against her. Amber Rose is being paid. Her bag is growing because she's regurgitating these right-wing racist talking points. That's it. That's what we're seeing. She has no brain. She's not a smart person. She is just not a smart person. And there's a point in there where she says something like, if Donald Trump were just doing this for the black vote, then why is he doing so much for black people? What is he doing? Exactly what is he doing for black people? Remember during Donald Trump's first term and after his first term, all he could talk about and all the MAGAs would talk about is how he lowered the black unemployment rate. Now, any of us who were smart, we pointed out that the black unemployment rate had been trending down since Barack Obama was president. But Donald Trump tried to take credit for that. Now, you don't hear them saying that at all. And here's why. Because the black unemployment rate is climbing at a much higher rate right now than the white unemployment rate. During these trying times, right now, during these times where we see the economy is taking a shit right now, we see the unemployment rate is rising right now, white unemployment has gone up 0.02%. Black unemployment over 1%. It's at 7.5% right now, which is higher than the national average, which is about 4.4% right now, which is like a percentage point almost higher than what it was when Joe Biden left office. Donald Trump is doing absolutely nothing for black people. And if Amber Rose is running around and Nick Cannon is running around pretending like he is, it's because they're being paid to do so, or they know they will be paid to continue regurgitating this stuff because their views go up. Now, some of you guys will say, we shouldn't pay attention to these people. This is giving them clout. This is making their views go up. We have to debunk this stuff. We have to come out and put the truth out there, or else there will be more Amber Roses and Nick Cannons running around acting like Donald Trump is doing something for black people and like the Republican Party is pro-black and the Democrat Party is anti-black. In this economy right now, more black people are finding themselves unemployed. More black people are being laid off. Just recently, a water plant in Alabama laid off 135 people, and you'll see in this video, many of these people are blessing legislation to help black people thrive in this country. In fact, they're all about lining their pockets for more money and more power. Nick Cannon and Amber Rose are ignorant. They're embarrassing. The fact that they're pushing these racist right-wing talking points that they know are probably going to be heard by young, impressionable black people is disgusting. I hope the money is worth it. I hope it's worth the sellout that you guys are doing. I hope it's worth the lying and all of that, because it's freaking pathetic and you should be embarrassed of yourselves. Period.
Don't want no enemies or ops. Envy in they heart, I tell them stop. Vacation on the yacht.